with just a normal pain train. So come here, Krampus. I'm gonna tickle your butt a little bit. There you go. I hope you're okay with that. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get him to look over here, please. Dude, what is he doing? He's like scratching his knuckle on the floor. Excuse me, good man. Dude, I think I broke him. Boys, I think I broke the smasher. Okay, I guess I'll build a shooting range really quick so that we can get some optimal gameplay. Just give me one moment, boyos. We are quite literally building a shooting range around this smasher. Yo, what is up? demonjoefrance here. Welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing, guys? Today, I have quite the interesting video for you guys because this is one of the weirdest responses I've ever seen to a new weapon being added to Fortnite Save the World. Today we're going to be doing a review on the pain train, and I'm going to kind of go in depth quite a bit with this weapon and talk about a few things. And I'm also going to be doing a 106 smasher test and a 130 smasher test for those of you guys that want to see the best of both worlds. But yeah, you know, we did a whole live stream yesterday, played with David, played with Latana, you know, had a crap ton of new subs, crap ton of viewers and donations, and just a great time, you know what I mean? And we all had a lot of fun for the release of the pain train, and it turned out that the pain train turned into something I definitely was not expecting. So let's go ahead and head on over to the schematics and let's take a look at the pain train. Now, I kind of want to discuss, you know, I want to compare it to other weapons. I want to discuss the best possible build for this weapon. It's just, this weapon is all over the place in a way that I really haven't seen any other gun just in any sort of way, really. So let's go ahead and go over my personal roles. We have damage, energy, just so I can use it on everything, magazine size, damage, and each shot fired grants 1.8% damage for 1 second, stacks up to 15 times. Now, we've seen this perk before with the Rat Rod weapon set from Fortnitemares, but this is the pain train. Now, this freaking weapon's design is beautiful. Okay, it's a freaking train. Okay, you can see in the front part right here, you can see the chugga right there, you can see the coal that's keeping it going, the snow, the bell, you can see the tracks on the clip. The weapon is just absolutely freaking beautiful. I love this weapon, very well designed from the art team over at Save the World. Now, this weapon at first glance you would think would be a damage weapon. You see, you know, the damage, the headshot damage, you got the crit hit chance and the crit hit damage, and you're just kind of like, well, it's kind of got a little bit of a low fire rate as well. You probably wouldn't go crit on this, right? Well, I've seen a lot of people go the crit build on this weapon. Like, I mean a lot of people. So let's go and take a look at the perks. The most optimal, I would say, in my opinion, for this weapon would probably be going right here and making this headshot damage. You would want to go like damage, headshot damage, damage, and then whatever element you wanted, right? That, in my opinion, would probably be the most optimal. But what you see a lot of people doing is you see some people going double crit rating with a crit damage and a damage. You see some people going, you know, crit rating with a double crit damage. You see some people going with fire rate. You see some people going with 4 damages, because this right here can also be turned into a damage as well. I've never seen a weapon like this before, just all over the place in terms of what builds are going on. And, you know, I kind of want to get to the bottom of what's the best build, but honestly, I just don't know. So I'm going to go over what I think is the best build. I'm not going to tell you definitively, and just kind of go over the pros and cons of each build and just kind of talk about it. And then we're also going to be comparing this to some other weapons that are in my backpack as well. I know that this weapon has been called a lot of things, like from the best weapon in the game to an amazing damage weapon to a crit weapon. I just kind of want to talk about it in general. So my personal build right here is what I would call the best all-around build. You want reliable damage. You want, you know, just to be able to do that damage anytime you please, go with this build. You got 3 damages, a mag size, and you also got this final perk which complements it. You know, I go with mag size because I cannot stand constantly reloading. The reload time on this weapon is 1.6. It is quite good, but you know, this is like the best all-around build, I would say. You want to go and live a little bit on the edge with this weapon. You might want to go with a crit rating and a double crit damage. The reason why this would even work is probably because of this last perk right here. Each shot fired grants up to 1.8% damage for 1 second. You know, this can kind of balance out whenever your weapon isn't really critting. I don't know if this is going to be a good crit weapon or not. I haven't really seen any gameplay of it, you know, being a crit weapon yet, but I'm sure that you could probably go crit on this weapon and not be punished too heavily. Another thing I've seen is fire rate, and fire rate really doesn't make sense to me at all. This weapon is advertised to be a pretty low fire rate weapon when it's got decent fire rate as is, but some people would go with fire rate in this slot, then like a mag size or a reload speed, and then go damage. I don't understand that. If you go fire rate, then you're going to be emptying your clip even more, which means you're going to need a magazine size or a reload speed to get rid of yet another damage, which just leaves you with fire rate and 2 damages, which isn't really that good. So I definitely wouldn't go fire rate on this. But you see a lot of builds on this gun, the last of which would be a 4 damage build. And I know David Dean did this to his weapon. He went with 4 damage, and I'm pretty sure it worked out pretty well for him. My weapon just disappeared for no reason. I'm pretty sure it worked out pretty well for him, but me personally, you know, I enjoy the magazine size, but I'm sure going 4 damages on this weapon isn't bad whatsoever. It's probably the meme option, but it's like a really good meme option. So now I want to compare this to other weapons, okay? I want to compare it to a damage weapon, and then I want to compare it to 2 crit weapons. So we've just, you know, we just talked about the build and whatnot. You know, this is the pain train right here, and then these are the other weapons. All of them are max rolls at the best possible rolls that they can be at. So we're just going to assume that with this pain train right here, this is the best possible damage rolls that you can go with. Let's compare it to a Gravedigger. Now, if I could do the compare stat, I would, but you can't in your backpack. So if we compare it, you know, we can see the Gravedigger stats right here. We can immediately see that the pain train will do more damage and headshot damage than the Gravedigger right off the bat, despite the Gravedigger having the headshot damage buff. But one thing that the Gravedigger doesn't, you know, really account is the fact that, you know, this right here, this does not go to the overall damage stat, which leaves us at 7,000, when in reality this one's at 11,000. You know, so this is a little bit inaccurate. Imagine this being at about 9 to 10,000. So whenever you compare it, you know, the Gravedigger's damage is really off by 1,000 in each category, just about. So you would be like, okay, the pain train's better, right? Well, not exactly. You also got the Gravedigger, which has a 10.22 fire rate. The Gravedigger has some insane fire rate on it, okay? So you're looking at, you know, a fire rate, damage to afflicted, headshot damage. So say you're hitting a good amount of your headshots, you're also causing affliction to every single thing you shoot, you are going to be doing way more damage than the pain train will ever do in its lifetime, no matter what. So is it better than the Gravedigger? No. You can already see that this weapon is, you know, around mediocre, maybe above average at that, but this weapon is by no means even close to being the best weapon in the game if it can't be better than a maxed out Gravedigger, whenever the weapon itself is maxed out with presumably, you know, the best damage rolls. The only other way you could do this is maybe going with a fire rate on it, but then you'd be losing out in even more damage and it really wouldn't be worth it. Let's compare it to a Hemlock or a Wraith, for example. Perhaps the Wraith is probably the closest representation. Both of these are supposed to be slower firing weapons, so let's take a look at that. So you got the Wraith. It's got a base crit hit chance of 20%. It's also got a range of 5,120, and it's also got a fire rate of 6.43. Now, the interesting thing is that the Wraith only fires slightly slower than the Pain Train does. Well, right off the bat, even if you went with a crit build on the Pain Train, the Wraith already does what the Pain Train does way better. It has longer range. You're crit hitting about 50% of the time. You were doing some crazy crit hit damage on top of that. Your fire rate might be slightly lower, but that's okay. You know, even then, your reload time is extremely similar. It's just that if you're gonna make the Pain Train damage, more than likely, you know, it's gonna be doing less damage than most damage assault rifles in the game, aka the Gravedigger, and if you make it crit, it's gonna be doing way less than a better crit rifle in the game, which is the Wraith. The Pain Train by no means is one of the best weapons in the game. It's not even up there. My first impressions, I thought this weapon was amazing. After looking at it more in depth, this weapon is nowhere near close to being one of the best weapons in the game. Is it a good weapon? Yes, it is very mediocre. It's very usable. You know, at the end of the day, I'd really say go any build that you want on this weapon, because no matter what you do, you're not going to be making it to that top tier level. So at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter that much. With a Wraith, yes, it really matters what build you go with a Wraith. Why? Because you could be missing out on so much damage if you do not go with a crit build. If you're using the Pain Train, this weapon in and of itself isn't really a game changer. It's not going to be doing that much crazy stuff. So does it really matter what build you go with it? Not really. I would say this build right here is the best all-around build. If you're really looking to kill smashers really fast, go with a crit build. If you're looking to meme around, go with an all-damage build. Really, at the end of the day, the pain train, it does not matter. This weapon is not going to be doing anything too crazy. You could argue that you could put miss monster damage right here and make it physical to make it a miss monster killer, but the bundle bus already has it outclassed at that. So at the end of the day, the pain train, if you are looking for the best build, go with what your heart tells you. I would say that this is the best all-around build, but some people would argue that a crit build is better, and I'm not even going to get into that. So that's pretty much all I got to say informationally about the pain train. Now, finally, this weapon had a lot more that I wanted to say about it than any other weapon has ever in the past. Finally, let's go ahead and get to some gameplay. I'm going to be doing a 106 gameplay, or a 106 smasher test, and then a 130 smasher test with Death Grip in my party. And we're going to see exactly what we can do in this Retrieve the Data mission. And yeah, so we're going to go get some smashers out of the way, and then we're going to jump over to the gameplay. We're also going to test how the weapon shoots and how it sounds. So I will see you guys in game. Alrighty, boyos. So here we are in game. I think that I should make it known out of all of that information I threw at you. I kind of missed out. We're going Urban Assault Sledgehammer, Master Grenadier Ramirez, and Quick Draw Calamity. We're going with, you know, Master Grenadier because of the damage build, and Urban Assault because he's the best for assault rifles. So let's go ahead and test out the sound and the fire rate first before we get over to the smasher over there. Like I said, we're going to do a 106 first, then we're going to test out a 130. So let's go ahead and see how this weapon really performs. I'm not even going to move it, so we're going to see how the kick works as well. So we're going to jump down here, and we're going to aim at this wall. Death Grip just found another smasher, so we'll be able to do this in one sitting. So here we go. We're going to aim at this wall, and we're going to see exactly how this weapon kicks and how it sounds. So there you go. This weapon is insanely stable. The bloom is a little crazy, but keep in mind weapon stability is basically what keeps the weapon in place instead of like going up. So even if this weapon did have weapon stability, it'd be pretty useless. But there we go. We can see the bloom is a little crazy, but the range on this weapon isn't even that of the Wraith, so you're not really going to be using it up far away. So that is what the weapon sounds like. It sounds like a train, which is awesome. If we reload the weapon, you guys can hear that it sounds like a train as well. It gives off a little chew. So yeah, there you guys go on that front. Let's go ahead and talk to Mr. Smashy Boy over here. We're going to go get his attention, try to get, you know, our Urban Assault buff and whatnot, and see exactly how fast we can kill with a just a normal pain train. So come here, Krampus. I'm going to tickle your butt a little bit. There you go. I hope you're okay with that. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get him to look over here, please. Dude, what is he doing? He's like scratching his knuckle on the floor. Excuse me, good man. Dude, I think I broke him. Boys, I think I broke the smasher. Okay, I guess I'll build a shooting range really quick so that we can get some optimal gameplay. Just give me one moment, boyos. Alrighty, boys. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work. I'm not sure how much he's going to cooperate with us. But we are quite literally building a shooting range around this smasher. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and line him up. This guy's honestly really complying with us. I really do got to give him some cred. Alright, Smasher. You will go to a great cause, my friend. So this is the 106 Smasher test. He's honestly not even moving. So there you go. I think I fired 2 bullets over, so it takes about 40 bullets to kill a Smasher with your pain train. So if we did not have the magazine size on there and we swapped it out for damage, we potentially still could have gotten the 1 clip kill. But there we go. There is that. So this one's a little bit less compliant, but we're going to try to get some good gameplay with this boy. I'm going to wait for him to rush first so we can get him all tired out. Smack Death Grip just nonchalantly. And yeah, let's melt this boy. So there we go. We saved about... Let's see, saved about 6 bullets. That's honestly not too crazy with a 130. That's honestly a little strange to me. Maybe if we get some smashers in the gameplay, we can try that again. But I'm pretty sure I got a lot of headshots on him. But then again, maybe the other one was so compliant with us, we were pretty much landing every single shot. So that's a little crazy. I don't know. Hopefully we do find some more smashers in the gameplay, but guys, I'm going to go ahead and switch on over to the gameplay, get a little bit more amateur commentary up in there, and all that great stuff. So I'll see you guys at the... Ooh. Okay, yeah, so I can't craft a neon sniper. I basically need these to find smashers. It really sucks that I don't have one. Ow. Hey, don't slap me, Chief. But anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump on over to the gameplay. Just going to kind of give my impressions of the weapon and just overall thoughts on it. So, yeah, we're also going to hope for some pretty decent, like, waves of enemies so we can get some great gameplay with the 130. I really do want to showcase this weapon off the best way I can, and so far, we've pretty much done that. So, I will see you guys at the gameplay. Alrighty, boyo, so here we are at the gameplay. The weather balloon is about to drop right now. Death Grip is essentially like hard carrying me right now. Nobody's really running this mission, and he's like a beast builder. So we're just going to go ahead and drop this ballon right quick, build some brick around it, and just kind of jump straight into the gameplay. So we got some boyos spawning on the outside, and we're just going to kind of snipe these guys. So yeah, basically right now, you know, we kind of got the smasher test out of the way, kind of the ultra important test out of the way. Now, you know, we're just getting some average gameplay with a 130 against level 100s. So I wanted to take this part of the video to just kind of speak my mind and just kind of talk. You know, a lot of people like to say, you know, oh, at the end of the video, you're just, you know, repeating yourself over and over again. It's just my thoughts, you know, it's just my impressions and my thought process. Not too much planning goes behind this portion of the video. But I just kind of want to talk about my thoughts on the pain train, and honestly, let me kind of upgrade my volume a little bit, upgrade it to 5-star. But yeah, whenever it comes to the pain train, there we go. Whenever it comes to the pain train, it's really, really, really good. You know, in terms of being an assault rifle, it does what it's supposed to do pretty freaking well, in my opinion. You know, it might be mediocre, it might not be the best, but you know, if I had to say, you know, if I had to recommend a good assault rifle to somebody, it would be this weapon. I bet if you're early game, this freaking assault rifle shreds, man. You don't got to worry about, you know, the best weapons in the game, or, you know, don't got to worry about certain builds or whatnot. If you're looking for just an all-around great assault rifle, you're looking at it, man. It's the pain train. This weapon's great no matter what playstyle you're going with. People seem to just use it for everything. You know, the last perk will help support any damage that you need if you go with a crit build. And, you know, you can go 4 times damage if you're feeling ballsy. You can go with a basic build like mine with mag size and 3 damage. You know, for me, I went with energy as well, just because I just wanted to be able to use it in any sort of situation instead of limiting myself to only certain ones. And from the looks of it, we're just killing normal husks, so it's essentially like I'm killing things at just, you know, 100%, which is a base gameplay. But yeah, you know, I love this weapon. I think this weapon is extremely versatile. It's really good for early game people, and it's honestly really good for late game people as well. I've been using this weapon quite a bit in the 4 times missions, level 100 and all that kind of stuff, and you know, it performs just fine. You know, it kills things just fine. Does it kill as fast as, say, the Wraith? Not exactly. But does it do its job? Yeah, absolutely. I love this weapon. I love this weapon, I love this weapon, I love this weapon. I don't want people to think that it's a bad weapon whatsoever. It's probably the most user-friendly weapon out there. And if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably still give it an 8.5. You know, comparing it to the Gravedigger kind of like knocked it down a few steps for me. I was like, wow, that's kind of odd that, you know, stats-wise and, you know, just scenario-wise, the Gravedigger is going to be doing a lot better. And, you know, even though it is true, this weapon is still, you know, you can do pretty much anything you want with this weapon. And the last perk is unique, and the weapon itself is unique. You know, it's not often that we get a weapon that is entirely unique and is actually really, really good, like the Gravedigger. You know, the Candy Corn LMG, for instance, was a weapon that's crazy unique, and it's really awesome. But the weapon itself is pretty doo-doo. You know, and then we got the Ghost Pistol, which looks amazing, and, you know, you think it's going to be good, and then it's projectile based, and it's really slow, and it doesn't have much base damage at all whatsoever. And then now we got the Pain Train. You know, we got a weapon that's in the middle. We got a weapon that looks freaking amazing, but isn't, you know, the best of weapons in the game, but is entirely usable at any level. And I would say that, you know, if you do decide to use this weapon, say Frost Knight, or if you decide to use this weapon at, you know, 4 times missions or whatever, you're going to be doing just fine. And that's the difference with this weapon and the Ghost Pistol and the Candy Corn LMG. The Candy Corn LMG, for me, never liked it. If I used that at end-game content, I would probably kill myself. The Ghost Pistol, don't even want to get into how much I hate that weapon. Cannot stand it. I know some people got differing opinions, but, you know, that's just me. You know, the Ginger Blaster is the only extremely unique weapon that we've seen that is really, really, really good. I guess if you're not talking about the Gravedigger. The Gravedigger is not, like, insanely great, but, you know, it's still good. So, you know, okay, Taker, I know you're trying to tickle my butt cheeks, but I'm just not having it, man. But you know, the Ginger Blaster, for example, really cool weapon, looks amazing, sounds cool, has freaking gumdrops, and the weapon itself is freaking baller. So it's refreshing. It's very refreshing to get the Pain Train, to get a weapon. It sounds cool. It's so unique. It looks amazing. And, you know, it's got a unique perk on it, which is not like unique, but it's still unique, you know. It's not a perk you see on every weapon. So I love the Pain Train, man. I love it. And, you know, you can even go Mist Monster if you really want to. It's not going to be really good for it because the bundle bus is there. But if you don't have a bundle bus, hell, dude, why not go as a Mist Monster killer with your Pain Train? But yeah, you know, that's pretty much really all I really got to say about this weapon. All around really versatile weapon that promotes really any kind of perk build on it, in my opinion. And, you know, I've just seen it's just evidence from the community of how much you've seen people react to this weapon. Usually when a new weapon comes out, everybody knows what's the best rolls on it, right? You know, or at least it kind of gets narrowed down. Like with the Ginger Blaster, it got narrowed down. It got narrowed down to headshot damage and crit build. I personally like the crit build with it because I don't like to waste my time aiming at heads constantly, which is hence the reason why there's no headshot damage on this weapon. But you know, we had that with the Ginger Blaster. With this weapon, we got four damage. We got Mist Monster Killer. We got you know, damage and magazine size. We got crit build. We got fire rate build. We got so much stuff with this weapon, which I've never seen with any other weapon before, and I really wanted to get in depth with it and just kind of talk about it with you guys. And, you know, out of all the weapon reviews I've done, I'd probably say that this is probably my favorite, even though I have yet to edit it. I really like this weapon review. All the information I put out, the commentary I provided on this weapon in general is just really cool, and I'm glad I was able to make this video and talk about it. I know we had that stream, and, you know, probably not as many people are going to watch this video because I've already done the stream and a little first impressions on it. But for those of you guys that do watch this video, I hope you guys did learn something and get some good information out of it. Is this weapon the best AR in the game? Most certainly not. But is it a good all-around AR? 100%. So guys, let me know your opinions down in the comments down below. I absolutely adore this weapon, and I absolutely voice crack every single video. You guys just don't know it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be doing the Tree of Light tomorrow with all legendary perks, of course, and all of that great stuff. But I do want you guys to sound off, as always, with your opinions. We always promote differing opinions, same opinions, whatever you guys want to say. I want to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.